Good morning, fanboys and fangirls. Welcome back to Nerds on Topic. This is Kevin, your solo nerd, and today I am bringing you the news.
Ready? Pick it up now!
Oh, god damn, does it feel good to be back, everybody. What is going on? It has been way too fucking long since I've recorded. So I am officially out of California and have moved across the country to the magical land of literally nowhere. As you all know, I am Kevin, your solo nerd, and I am bringing you the wonderful news. Today, I am bringing you the news for, December 10th through December 16th, and there is some interesting shit going on in this last week. I tell you what, god dang it. Yeah, but before I get into that, let me just say, I apologize for being gone for so long. I would have started recording, last week, but things have been a little bit difficult. First thing I had to do was actually move into my new place. It took me about a week to get here. We drove cross country, and, some shit got jostled around, and it turns out I actually left a couple of my important cables for my soundboard, back at my old home. So I had to find out a way to replace those, which luckily I now have. Some other annoying things have happened, such as my phone getting shut off. I still need to find a new job, and yeah, that's a whole lot of stuff going on for me. What else? What else have I not talked about with you guys recently? I now have twice the number of animals to worry about. I also have to be careful about attempting to record because there are now children around me, every couple of weekends. So that makes this a little bit more difficult also. Yeah, but I found a time to quietly sit down and talk to you people like some kind of normal civilized person or some shit like that. Yeah. So, hi everybody. I've missed you. I've missed this. It feels so good talking again. I've just been sitting around the house just unmotivated to do anything. But finally, I'm recording. And what a week to start recording again. So, as always, this is Nerds on Topic. I'm going to be going through the news for the previous week. I go through movies, TV shows, anime, comic books, video games, all that jazz, so you can catch up on everything that you might have missed. And as always, I'm going to start off with the movies. All right, to kick movies off this week, we've got a brand new announcement from Netflix. They have just acquired the rights to do another rom-com, this time from the ever-popular author John Green's, the same guy who wrote, Fault in Your Stars and I think Paper Cities. They are doing Let It Snow, which will go into production next year and follows, I do believe, 3 different little stories inside of it. Netflix has been kicking ass with their rom-coms lately. Like, they've been some of the most popular things on there, which is pretty interesting. We'll see if they can kick it out of the park again with another one, especially by such a prolific author. After that, we have Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which is the movie being done by Guillermo del Toro, I do believe. The logo just dropped for that, as well as a release date, which is set to come out August 9th, right up against the Artemis Fowl movie by Disney. So we'll see how well it fouls against... that was terrible. Oh, that didn't even fucking make sense. Let's see how they match up whenever that starts. And, I'm a big fan of trauma movies, and apparently Legendary Pictures, which easily is one of my favorite movie production companies, has been fucking kicking ass. They just got the rights, or at least a while ago, got the rights to a lot of trauma movies, including the Toxic Avenger, and they are currently in the process of doing a reboot of the Toxic Avenger for modern era. I'm super excited to see what they do with this, especially like bringing what is it? The character of Toxie into a modern setting. It's going to be super fun, I'm pretty sure. And like with their other big blockbusters they've been doing, they're just going to fucking wreck the box office with this easy cult classic. Yeah, there's no other news about it going on right now. No writers attached, no directors attached, no story synopsis. It's a reboot of the Toxic Avenger. So I'm excited to see what they do with that. After that, I think Sony's getting better. So with the release of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, they got a fucking hit right there. That's gotten like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and is not just spawning a sequel. It's also getting a spin-off, an all-female spin-off called Spider-Woman, which is going to be featuring Silk and Spider-Woman, who, weirdly enough, does not have any spider powers. I have no fucking idea why they call her Spider-Woman. I don't really know much about the character, so if you guys want to hear me do a topic on Spider-Woman, just shoot me a message. I'll do as much research as I can and pop one out for you. But not before I do the special project I'm doing for the topics this month, and I do believe next month. So yeah, it's gonna be featuring Silk and Spider-Woman, as well as the rest of the of course gonna have Spider-Gwen. That's the word I'm looking for. That's the name I'm looking for. Spider-Gwen and shit like that. And then we got the sequel, which is going to be featuring Miles and his relationship with Gwen, which, okay, I'm going to lay this down right now. That makes no fucking sense to me. I don't like it. Gwen Stacy is Peter Parker's first love, and the fact that they're pushing a Gwen Stacy Miles Morales romance just weirds me out. It's like brothers ending up dating the same chick. It's just not right, you know? But Sony has a little bit other superhero news. So a while ago, they announced they were doing the Vin Diesel-led Bloodshot movie. For those who don't know, Bloodshot is a kind of a mixture between Punisher and Wolverine kind of character, done by Valiant Comics for their whole Valiant comic universe. And then it's connected to this little known other comic called Harbingers, which just got announced that they are currently developing a Harbinger movie to go along with the Bloodshot film, which Harbingers has, a couple of famous characters. Most popular one I would probably say is Faith, also known as Zephyr. They've also got, Torque. I do believe his name is Torque. They've got a bunch of names, but anyways, they just announced that they have cast their lead actor, or at least they're looking at their lead actor, Dylan O'Brien of the Maze Runner movies, to play Peter Sanchek, who is one of the highest level Omega Harbingers, Scions, I think they call them. It's been a while since I've actually read a Valiant comic. It's been a while since I've actually sat down and read any comics, honestly. But yeah, so it's a really cool universe. I really enjoy it. They're going to be doing a Harbinger movie. They're going to be doing a Faith movie eventually, and they're also going to be doing a Harbinger War movie, which will cross over Bloodshot and Harbingers, which I'm super fucking hyped for. Harbinger Wars was a really good read. Going on from there, we have... Okay. Oh, geez. I just remembered this. It made me throw up a little bit the first time. The live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie teaser, poster, trailer shit just dropped. Oh my god, this thing looks fucking disgusting. I don't know who was leading the art team for this, but they should be fired. They gave Sonic human-looking arms and legs that do not look right on his body. His shoes look like crap, and we haven't even actually seen his face yet because he's basically silhouetted out. We just get like the blue glow around his body that kind of shows off some of his quill textures, I guess you could call it. And then like he zooms around. I don't even think they got the ring sound right when I was watching it either. Like how do you fuck up Sonic that bad? Anyways, the teaser poster also gives us a release date which is set for November 8th of 2019. Hopefully this either gets a complete graphical recall or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Overhaul, that's the word I was looking for, or it just gets canceled. Because sure, I'm totally down with a live action Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but this is not the design you should be going with. I need a palate cleanser now, which I have right here. Godzilla. I'm so fucking excited. Like the newest trailer for Godzilla, King of the Monsters dropped, and it shows all four of the kaijus, or all four of the titans, if you will, which I actually kind of like the idea of them being primordial titans. It kind of makes me think of Greek mythology. And it makes me like think of the Hercules movie though, where they had the elemental titans like fire, water, earth, air, and shit like that. And I'm like, well, I mean, I guess you got the air titan of Mothra, you got the water titan in Godzilla, you got the fire titan in Rodan, and you have the lightning titan in or storm titan in King Ghidorah. But there was two other little things kind of briefly shown. One that looked like giant spider legs coming up out of the ground, which could easily be a hint at Kamanga being in the movie. And then another one, which straight up looked like a mountain getting, like, pushed aside, much like how Anguirus digs, or even, just throwing this out here, Baragon. That could be funny. But there could be two more monsters actually included in Godzilla King of the Monsters, which I would be totally cool with. Yeah. And let's see. Oh yeah, the cast of the Charlie's Angel reboot, specifically Naomi Scott, have officially announced that the filming for the Charlie's Angels reboot is finished, and it is set to release November. So hopefully everyone will go see that, as opposed to the Sonic the Crap Hog movie that should be coming out the same month. Pixar's back again. So, Pixar has just announced that they are finally making original movies again after the whole Toy Story 4 thing going on. And we have a new movie, which is starring Spider-Man and Star-Lord, a.k.a. Tom Holland and Chris Pratt, who are playing a pair of elf brothers who are going on a quest to find what little magic still exists in the world. The movie is called Onward and sounds actually pretty fucking interesting. It sounds like a very high fantasy movie, which I don't remember the last time we actually got like a high fantasy children's movie that wasn't an adaptation of something we've already seen before. I'm super fucking excited for this shit. Like, I love Pixar. Everyone fucking loves Pixar. If you don't like Pixar, there's probably something emotionally and mentally wrong with you. Like, you probably don't have a heart, or are dead, or both. Anyways, the last little bit of movie news I have, though, is DC has announced, along with their plans for a Blue Beetle Jaime Reyes movie and a Zatanna movie, they have plans for Plastic Man. This is perfect with the route that they've been going with their movies lately that have been doing a lot better. They are focusing on solo characters for now. They're developing them. They're putting a little bit more of a comedic spin on things, and they're making it so that people are actually going to be interested in watching it, and it's not going to be all dark, drab, and dreary the entire fucking time. So the whole move towards a more comedic, more light-toned Justice League, I could say, or Justice Society, or Justice League United that they might be forming, which actually could be pretty interesting, doing a Justice League International movie. with Plastic Man, Blue Beetle, Zatanna, and Shazam. Maybe throw Aquaman and Wonder Woman in there as advisors. Even throw in Ben Affleck as Batman and Henry Cavill as Superman. We could have a whole International Justice League or Justice League. Justice League Unlimited. That would be cool. Sorry, I'm nerding out right now. But do you really expect any different on this podcast? But yeah, so excited for that. And continuing on with this exciting DC news, we're going into the television segment. We're starting things off with some casting calls from DC's streaming service, DC Universe. We've got Swamp Thing casting Ian Zerning? I don't know. But they're casting him as Blue Beetle. For those who don't know who Blue Beetle is, he is David Cassidy, a stuntman who had a blue demon suit fused to his body by, well, an actual demon. He's usually a paranormal hero, so it'll be really cool seeing him partner up or even like have a little bit of a rivalry with Swamp Thing. After that, we've also got 2 new JSA members being cast in Stargirl. We have... Joel McHale as Starman, who is the original wielder of the cosmic staff and mentor of Stargirl's dad, who is his sidekick. Then we also have Our Man being played by someone I did not even know existed. I was unaware that Lou Ferrigno had a son. His name is, Lou Ferrigno. More specifically, is Lou Ferrigno Jr. So that's pretty interesting. For those who don't know who Our Man is, he's a superhero who started off taking drugs that allowed him to have superpowers for exactly 1 hour. And there's a whole storyline where he got addicted and shit like that. But anyways, that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see where they go with this. Stargirl is going to be a very fun show. I can totally see it having its own universe or just, staying within itself. Like, these DC shows are really interesting. I'd like to see it cross over with Titans, which, speaking of Titans, they just showed the season finale trailer, and it comes out this Friday. The season finale is called Robin versus Batman, which none of us actually expected them to show Batman in the Titans show. It's going to be really cool to see what they do with that, seeing as, it's Batman. Like, it's one of the first times we'll see a regular Batman in the silver screen as opposed to, big budget movies. I mean, we had the Batman 60s show, and we have Batman in the, Gotham. Yeah, but that's crap. I really don't feel like looking at Gotham's Batman. It looks so bad. But yeah, apparently the whole premise is that he's killing all his enemies, and Robin has to stop him because he's the only one who can. Like, Jason Todd straight up comes up to him in a wheelchair in the trailer, straight up asks Dick for help, which is, as we all know, a very, very not Jason Todd thing to do. Yeah, so after this episode, I do believe Netflix is going to be picking this show up for the entire season, which means everyone who does not have the DC Universe streaming service will finally be able to watch all of Titans in one sitting, which means I will once again be binge watching the entire show. And now we're probably going to roll into some more news, going into actually Marvel TV news for Netflix. We're all probably watching right now the very last seasons of any Marvel Netflix show, like Daredevil and Iron Fist and Luke Cage. I still call him Power Man. Anyways, as you know, Luke Cage and Iron Fist were canceled, and last week, Daredevil has officially been canceled. Which is weird because it is one of the best shows on Netflix. But the reason is probably because, Disney's doing their own streaming service. They won't be able to actually use any of the Marvel characters that they have for their Netflix shows for their new streaming service because of a contract. They won't be able to use them for 2 more years. So not until 2020 will the contract be up for them to be able to make new shows using Daredevil, Iron Fist, Power Man, and Jessica Jones, or the Defenders. So that's sad to see it go, but like it had a pretty good run as it was going. Um, Next month, you can expect a big nostalgic surprise from Netflix, actually. So a while ago, they got the rights for Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? And they just announced that next month, I do believe, they are dropping a Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego animated series where Carmen Sandiego is actually being voiced by the by the lead actress from Jane the Virgin. They've also got a movie coming, but I didn't actually look to see when that was going on. It's funny. I'm excited to see what they do with all that. I paid a lot of attention to Where in the World of Carmen Sandiego when I was a kid. It was actually the only thing I was allowed to do on the computer growing up. And even to be able to do that, I had to fucking do math work beforehand. The newest trailer for Star Trek Discovery dropped for season 2, and it shows Ethan Peck in full Spock gear, and he is very hairy, and I do not know how I really feel about it. I've already talked about what the season's going to be focusing on for Spock storyline-wise, which is going to be focusing on him and his stepsister's relationship. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I need to catch back up because I am a little bit behind on Star Trek Discovery, but I really enjoy it. Oh, shoot. Looks like I skipped a little bit of Netflix news. Anyone who likes Guillermo del Toro is probably having a little bit of fun this week as Guillermo del Toro's Netflix show Troll Hunters, or also known as Tales from Arcadia, is getting a spin-off show called Three Below, which... Okay, so I was watching Tales of Arcadia, Troll Hunters, and they introduced these characters literally out of nowhere, and they were acting really weird, and I was thinking, wait, are these guys aliens? And then, lo and behold, I see that trailer not too long ago, well, actually last week, because it dropped last week, or at least the full trailer, not the teaser trailer, dropped for these people, and... they're aliens. They're straight up aliens that are hiding in Arcadia Bay. It's actually going to be coming out on the 21st, so keep your eyes open for that. Of course, we're all probably going to be binging it when it comes out. I know I will be at least. It looks pretty interesting. It still has a lot of the same characters from Troll Hunters, so it's going to be fun at least. I don't know. Troll Hunters was pretty good until, it was pretty good all the way through. The book's really good. I know that. And so, episode 300 of Supernatural is fast approaching, and we see the return of a very special character. Looks like Daddy Winchester is back, who actually has not been seen since, I do believe the end of season 2, when he was helping the brothers get rid of the yellow-eyed demon that was tormenting them. Jeez. Fuck. I am so far, but I'm like 2 seasons behind on Supernatural. Then again, I also thought last season was legit going to be the end of the series because 13 seasons seems like a good end for Supernatural, but of course it's not. It's too fucking popular to end right now. And the last little bit of TV news I've got is the 2nd season trailer for Future Man has dropped, and it shows us a Seth Rogen role as he plays a man named Susan, and then he explains, I know Susan is a female's name in your era, your era, which made me laugh. But yeah, it looks very different from the first season of Future Man, and it actually takes place in the future, which I talked about previously on another episode. If you really want to go back and listen to it, I'm not going to complain. But yeah, so we got that going on. And that brings us to the end of TV news. Next up is gaming. All right, welcome to the gaming section of today's episode. And to start things off, we got a little bit of a sad announcement. If you don't own any of the Nintendo Classic systems yet, you better hurry, because what's out on the shelves right now is the last of what they're making in America, which was announced a couple of days ago by Reggie, who is the American president of the Nintendo company. other than Red Dead Redemption, the only other big game that's going on right now is Smash Brothers, and I am fucking hooked on that shit right now. Oh my gosh, it is so much fun. Anyways, there was new DLC announced for it, of course, which honestly, this came out of fucking left field. They just announced with a whole animated trailer Joker from Persona 5, who I don't know a whole lot about it, but it looks interesting. I don't know how they're going to put moves from Persona necessarily into Smash Brothers, but I'm excited to see with it. This also like opens up the realm of possibilities for Smash Brothers characters like 100-fold. We could get anyone from fucking Yuffie from Final Fantasy VII to, I don't know, Banjo-Kazooie, who would actually make a lot of sense, to, who else would be a fucking random-ass character? Halo's Master Chief. There we go. That's who's going to be the next character. Halo's Master Chief. But yeah, like, out of nowhere, Persona 5. Whew. Yeah, so Pokemon Go players, the third annual winter event is starting to kick off, which will hit on, what's today? It's the 17th, so it'll hit off actually tomorrow, which will feature more Gen 4 Pokemon, as well as more often spawning ice types, and you're going to be able to get a special Delibird, and it's shiny this season, which is just in time for the Christmas season, as well as, you know, of course, the Santa Chew, as always. Dropping next month, Monster Hunter World's first anniversary event starts, which will give us new gear and new quests. And also, next year, we're going to be getting Geralt from Witcher 3, who will also bring more quests, more gear, and as whenever you're playing as him, you will have his own fighting style from the Witcher games, which is very interesting. I never, ever would have expected to see Geralt in Monster Hunter. Like, he just seems like such a one-off character personally, but like he's really cool, don't get me wrong. It just seems so weird putting him in the Monster Hunter universe. I think it's going to be through some kind of weird portal. But speaking of portals and Obsidian, Obsidian is at it again. They have a new game coming out called Outer World, which looks a lot like Fallout, Borderlands, and BioShock having some kind of weird sci-fi baby. It's got it. The trailer just dropped for it. I don't know if there's a release date for it yet, but it looks pretty cool. I might check it out since I have access to more systems now, and my brother gets games like that a lot. So, yeah. After that, we've got Mortal Kombat 11, which not only was just announced for all major video gaming systems, but it also has a release date of April 23rd, so it's really near. And if you pre-order now, you'll get access to the beta for Xbox One and PS4. But weirdly enough, not for PC or Switch, which, of course, the game is also out for, or going to be out for. The pre-order also allows you to play as Shao Kahn, the big bad, which is pretty interesting. Like, I know Mortal Kombat X was a fucking amazing, fun game, and dominated the fighting game for a little bit. So I find it weird how they're like just announcing Mortal Kombat 11, but then again, it's also kind of a clever marketing strategy, announcing your game like maybe a couple of months before it actually comes out, so everyone's hyped for it. Like, boom, boom, it's right here. Everything you want to know is right here. Yeah. So this is weird. Katy Perry, the pop star, is going to be in Final Fantasy. Well, to be more specific, she's going to be in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. She's going to be allowing them to use her likeness, as well as the Ariana Grande, who did it a while ago, which is also just for a limited time. And with it, she actually did a whole new song and music video just for the game. This is weird. It's so weird thinking about pop stars fucking being in Final Fantasy. Like, it used to be such a, well, of course, niche and nerdy thing, and now, of course, it's mainstream and popular for everybody. And some other retro gaming news. John Romero, who is the creator of Doom, for the Doom 25th anniversary, is releasing a free megawad. For those who don't know, a megawad is what they used to call fan-created content for the original Doom series. And the reason I say that is because he is releasing, well, a megawad for the original Doom series, a brand new one, which introduces 9 new stages for single-player play and 9 new stages for battle. Yeah, deathmatch. That's the word I'm looking for. Fucking deathmatch. I am not an idiot, I swear. Yeah, so that's going to be releasing, what is it? In February. Yeah. So it's super weird. So anyone who has the original Doom from 1993 on your computer, you'll be able to download this for free. I didn't see where you could download it from. I think it's just from the website, and the expansion is called Sigil. Super cool. Like, I never actually really got into Doom. I've always liked the idea of it, and I liked watching people play. So seeing that they're bringing new content to a game that is a quarter of a century old is fascinating. Like, it's not even updated graphics or anything. It's literally, here's the old system, here's a bunch of new shit, and on top of that, like, you're getting, if you buy it, the physical copy of it, you get, I do believe, an album, a brand new album cover, a brand new song by Buckethead, I want to say. I wrote down Buckethead. Anyways, yeah, they have their own song for it, and it's going to be on a flash drive that looks like a floppy disk. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, that brings us to the end of video game news, and we now launch into our next segment, which, as you all should know right now, is anime. As seems to be the trend as of late, starting off with some Netflix news for the anime segment. Much like most of its shows right now, Netflix is doing an Agretsuko Christmas special. Agretsuko is this really cool, Sanrio show, much like, Hello Kitty, but for adults, describing how much working sucks ass. And the Christmas special is going to be dropping later this week, I think on the 21st. I'm not 100% sure on that. And then after that, a new trailer for Promised Neverland has dropped, the 6th trailer to be in fact, and it is it has a release date of January 10th, or for us, January 11th. It looks great, really. The visuals looks like exactly like the manga, really fantastically animated. And it previews the intro song for the series, which really fits the tone of the entire thing. After that, we've got Mob Psycho 100 Season 2 just dropped its TV spot, which also reveals its intro song, and it also looks pretty fucking amazing. For those who, for some reason, don't know what Mob Psycho 100 is, it is the series also created by the author and artist of One Punch Man, which also should be getting its 2nd season soon. Then we have some interesting news. I don't know why or how, but My Hero Academia is getting a 4D showing in Japan. So, like, those special attractions at amusement parks where they spit water in your face or they blow air at you while you're sitting there watching a movie in, like, 3D. I think it's in 3D. I don't know. But anyways, it's one of those, but for the new My Hero Academia movie. Which sounds really fun. I would totally go to it if I could, but alas, I live on the other side of the world, and that's not how traveling works. Then we have the brand new announcement of the Kakegurui live action movie. Kakegurui is a anime about gambling in a school. Yeah, it's weird. It got super popular the season that it aired, and I never got into it. But they just dropped a trailer for, the the movie, which looks pretty much exactly like the show. I don't know how they're going to mess this one up because, as we all know, anime is cursed to never have a good live-action adaptation. Looking at you, Dragon Ball Evolution, but it also has a release date of May of 2019. Some more live-action news. Studio Ghibli has announced that Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind is getting a kabuki stage play. It's going to start in December of next year. That's really weird. I don't know how they're going to do that. It's totally cool, but simultaneously, it sounds like it's going to be very weird because isn't kabuki silent? I don't know. Any hoozles. Is there more live action news? Oh yeah, there is. It's getting delayed, but I'm still happy it's even getting done. Watakoi, or Love is Hard for Otaku, is getting a live action movie, but I didn't know this was going on. But the problem is, though, it just got delayed from 2019 next year to 2020. I hope you guys are still doing the drinking game, where every time I take a drink, you can take a drink, because I am thirsty. Anyways, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know that was going on. Fucking love the anime. I'm excited to see what they do with the live action show. I don't know how the fuck they could mess this one up. Like, it's literally just two nerds fucking dating. Then this is something I have never heard of before. So we all know, well, not everyone, but if you don't know what a drama CD is, it's kind of like a podcast, but more like a radio play. There we go, like a radio play, but it's current and it's done on a CD, and it's usually for an anime or a manga that hasn't either gotten an anime or is getting extra like side stories and whatnot. Anyways, the drama CD for This Boy Will Be Called a Villain, which is part of a series of, I don't know if they're all drama CDs or if it's all, I think I saw there was a couple of animes involved in it, but it's part of a series of those. And it's actually getting an English dub, which I've never heard of before. Like, I really want to get it and listen to it, because I always wondered what they were like through an English-speaking audience. Other than that, we've got the light novel, The Eighth Son? That can't be right. Which is about a guy who wakes up and finds out that he is now a 5-year-old who is the 8th son of a noble family in a fantasy setting. Yeah, well, it's getting an anime, and it sounds weird as fuck. But then again, what light novel doesn't? Especially when it's just another isekai. Isekai is a fish out of water story. Anyways, we've also got Shonen Jump is starting a free manga subscription service where you get new chapters of manga every month, I do believe. For America. So you can finally legally read your manga without having to pay for it, much like how Viz has been doing like the first volume of a manga or first 3 chapters of a manga for free. This is going to be a new free chapter like every month for its mainstream stuff. And that is all I currently have written down for anime news. We've also got, of course, like the Godzilla movies coming out and the Godzilla anime movie for Netflix coming out and stuff like that. But I forgot to write down when that was happening. Anyways, that brings us into our final segment for the day, which is comic books. All right, so starting comics off like I always do, I go through and I read through the top comics for Marvel, DC, and Image Comics and other publishing companies, their top 5 to 6 issues that are selling this previous week, starting with DC because it's the best and alphabetical order. So we're starting off with Batman Annual number 3. We then have Detective Comics number 994. We have The Flash number 60, Wonder Woman number 60, and Titans number 31. Following up DC, we now have Marvel, starting with The Amazing Spider-Man number 11. We then have Avengers number 11. X-Men Red number 11, Star Wars Dr. Aphra number 27, and Uncanny X-Men number 5. Then we lead into Image Comics and other publishing companies. We start off with Oblivion Song number 10, The Magic Order number 5, Birthright number 34, Hit Girl number 11, and Giant Days number 45. And now some fun little news for the Nintendo Switch. The comic book subscription service Inky Pen is finally out for the Nintendo Switch today. And another comic book company has just signed up for distribution through them, and it is Archie Comics. So you'll be able to get all your fun fan favorite Archie stories now through the Switch. That should include, I don't know, Archie After Death and the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, the comic book series, and the series that inspired Riverdale, and some other stuff. And after that fun news, we now have some controversy, more specifically some DC Comics controversy. The first thing that happened is they had to pull a cover of Heroes in Crisis, I do believe number 7, because it was an inappropriate image. It was a sexual look at Poison Ivy, who was dead and attempting to what looks like draw the Flash symbol on the ground in her own blood, but her ass was up in the air and she was kind of looking at the camera seductively even though she was dead. They didn't want it to be published, and they had someone had posted it on Twitter, I do believe, but it got taken down. The next little bit of DC controversy is little more what the fuck. So DC's popular new Vertigo series, Border Town, has just been canceled because the writer, whose name I can only pronounce as Esquivel, I don't know, has been charged with sexual abuse. I do believe toy designer has come out about someone abusing her sexually, molesting her, and she had hinted that the person now had a Vertigo series for DC, and they tracked everything down, and now he is being charged with sexual misconduct, which is, of course, causing these series to get canceled. Now, to bring things up a little bit, they are releasing 2 special pages for those who bought Batman number 62 online for free, which is also one of those things that happened this week that I've never heard of them doing before. So if you want, you can go and download them. It got announced on Tom King's Twitter that he released them, and the cover of it looks like it has Professor Pig standing in front of some butchered pigs with the silhouette of Batman in blood, but he's not covered in blood. Everything around the silhouette is covered in blood. Yeah, it's interesting looking. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I've never heard of a comic book company doing that before. So now let's get into Marvel news. I'm going to start off with the simple stuff and then lead into the complicated bullshit that Marvel is pulling this month. Miss Marvel is actually getting a relaunch with a new title called, and I love the alliteration here, The Magnificent Miss Marvel, which they could have gone a simpler and done The Marvelous Miss Marvel, but Magnificent it feels so much better. It flows a lot better than Marvelous Miss Marvel. That's going to be happening, I do believe, in March. And then after that, they are releasing a new limited series for Star Wars called Darth Vader Dark Visions. I think it's going to be a 6-issue series from following Vader in a new part of the galaxy where he is found as a symbol of fear and a new symbol of hope. And now let me get into the complicated piece of shit that Marvel is pulling. Right after Stan Lee's death, of course, they are doing a full rewrite of their history. Cosmic Ghost Rider, who is, of course, Frank Castle from the future, I do believe it's from the future, as Ghost Rider, is fucking everything up. He is currently trapped in the past and decides, why not change everything? So this 6-part miniseries is going to be changing the origin of the Fantastic Four. It's also going to be changing who saved Jean Grey from being Dark Phoenix, who found Captain America frozen in the ice, and who helped Spider-Man during his little crisis that he had himself. This is going to piss a lot of people off, I feel. Like these are some stories that you don't touch. You don't change how the Fantastic Four got their powers. You don't change who saves Jean Grey or who found Captain America. It's too sensitive of a topic, I feel. Like these are the milestones of the Marvel like universe. Anyways, that is the end of the news. It feels so good to start recording again. I've had to take this a couple of different takes. It's getting used to everything and making sure everything's working right. I thank you all for coming and tuning back in and listening to me talk again. I've missed it so much. Sitting here having a nice cup of coffee with you guys. Well, that's it for the news. This is Kevin, and let me do my plugs now. You can follow the podcast on all social medias at Nerds on Topic, so on Twitter and Instagram. And you can follow the Facebook group. You can follow my personal Instagram and Twitter at Not Coffee, and that's coffee with a K. You can follow the amazing DJ who does the intros and outros for this, Swa, on all social medias at Swa Music. And you can always email the show to give any suggestions or request any possible topic episodes in the future. You can do that through nerdsontopic@gmail.com. And I do believe that is everything. Thank you all so much for listening. This is your solo nerd, and this is Nerds on Topic, and we are not the podcast you're looking for. Bye-bye.